Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about marriage, getting married. All right, so with all the stuff that's going on now, all this social media chaos, and basically marriage, I know back then, some years ago, marriage was really worth something, really meant something. Nowadays, marriage don't mean anything. You have these women on social media encouraging each other to get divorces, and and on purpose for no particular reason. I'm seeing stories about women saying they're bored, so they got a divorce. It does, again, that's why you never let a woman lead. It doesn't make any sense. And honestly, marriage is not even beneficial for men. It's you take all the risks while the women get all the rewards. So you get divorced, they take half your stuff. You hear the stories all the time. You probably know somebody. You're probably that guy who been through it. Listen, man. I have countless amount of stories when it come down to guys getting divorced. Just one in particular, I got a couple I'm gonna go ahead and bring up. One guy I was talking to, he came in, looked at loss, he see it on his face. So me, normally, when someone's like they're having a bad day, I try to, shake, get them to shake it. I'll try to chip them up a bit. Cheer him up a bit. So I asked the guy, "Hey man, everything okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know." I was like, "What? What do you mean you don't know? You want to something you want to talk about? Not to get because you don't want to be rude, but at the same time, you trying to fill them out, right? So it's like I don't want I'm not trying to be nosy, but if you want to talk about it, man, I'm all this." And he opened up to me. So the guy was caught off guard, because he said his wife divorced him and she left him for a trainer. I'm like, yeah, that's that typical romance, story I always hear about. And he was like, yeah, the guy was he's half her age. So these people, they're in their, they're almost 50. They're up there in their 40s, mid 40s and up. And his wife, it's about in the same age group as him. So they both in their mid 40s and up. And he said, I was on the stand, like, I was paying all the bills. I bought her whatever she wanted. I gave her money. And he said one day she just up and decided to divorce me. And I'm like, the fuck? So I'm like, so what's going to happen next? And he was like, well, she already won, in court. And she took the house, and the cars. And he said, I don't know. He was just so caught off guard. He didn't know what to say. And so you can see it in his face. His eyes was just like he was just confused, caught off guard, like I keep telling you guys. And I'm like, so what's you gonna do now? Because you wanna get them moving. You don't want them to stay stagnant. You don't want them to just stay in that dark hole that they're in. And he said, I don't know. I'm just gonna, I guess, get another place, and yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. And he was just, she literally just, pulled the rug from under his feet, and he was just kept saying, like, I don't know, man, I don't understand. I didn't do anything wrong. At least I think I didn't. And he was like, yeah, she just left me for some young guy. And normally, the story is you'll hear that, vice versa. You'll hear the guys doing that all the time, which they do. But he was just, like I say, he did everything for her, and then it lets you know right there. It's like, bro, like, you can't make somebody happy. They have to want to be happy. They got to make themselves happy on their own. So he was doing everything right by the textbook, and then next thing you know, she leaving for a young guy. And I'm like, well, the sad part about it for her is she thinks she found someone who actually cares about her. I said, she already had somebody that cared about her. It was you. I'm like, well, the sad part about it is the guy that's with her is just hooking up with her, and he's going to just use what he got. He's going to kick it to the curb, because the guy's in his 20s. Listen, man, I don't care what no guy wants an old woman. Now, you got some guys out there who fantasize and this and that. I get it. You probably got a couple that slipped through the crack, but overall, no guy wants an old woman. I'm like, dude, like, she's basically dating. If you guys had kids, she's basically dating your son's friend. So that's basically what it is. I'm like, that guy, he's young, because I've been there too, man. Young and just whatever. If I can use you, I'm gonna use you, and then I'm gonna go from there. So all he's doing is just, we're gonna kick it with her for a couple weeks or whatever. He get bored, we kick to the side. Just because you're an older woman or you feel like you're young or whatever the case may be, that won't change a guy's mind. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you have to offer, whether you got something to offer or you don't, they gonna still do what they gonna do with you. So you can be the best woman in the world, but they still gonna use you and abuse you. You can be the worst woman in the world. This is what it is. So she thinking because, obviously got pumped up on TikTok. She doesn't have a job. That's another thing too. You gotta keep them busy. You know what I mean? You gotta keep them busy. What they say, a wandering mind, the devil always looking for a wandering mind. Whatever that term is, but she didn't have a job, of course. So that's typical. It's always some housewives that be doing that, man, because they don't have anything else to do. And so all she do was get on the phone. I already know she don't cook for the dude because he look like he don't eat home cooking. If that makes sense, if that makes sense, right? What do you mean? Like, he looks like a guy who never had a home cooked meal. Most likely past his mama, because at that time, your mom is the last source. After that, it's like your generation, and you go from there. So he look like a guy who never had a home cooked meal. Like he always order out, or they always go out to eat or whatever. So like, she's not doing nothing for you. Outside of sex, which y'all, it's an even trade. Y'all both want or whatever. But outside of that, she not doing nothing for you, man. When you get off work, she there. Before you head to work, she there. You know what I mean? Like on your lunch break, she there. She not doing nothing. So all she doing is just scrolling all day. So she see these women on there, empowerment, say, yeah, divorce your man, you strong, you independent, you deserve that. Hyping her up, feeding her empty lies. You know what I mean? This false hope. So she fell for the bait. She took the bait, and now she out there, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's crazy because that guy don't even respect you. He doesn't take you serious. He just sees you as an easy lay, and that's exactly what you are. You know what I mean? That's exactly what she is. So she not seeing it. She think that, I can still compete with the young girls, this and that. In a logical sense, 19-year-old girl, 45-year-old woman. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, that's just what it is. That's just like, okay, it's like, If the lotto gave you an ultimatum, say, hey, man, the jackpot is $1 million for this one, or you can get the jackpot for $100 million. That's like, it's just like that. It's just like that. It's like no idiot is going to take the $1 million. They're going to take the $100 million. That's the same thing. You put two women in front of a guy. Okay, here's a 19-year-old or whatever. Like I said, I want a 21-year-old, and here's a 45-year-old. That's it. That's just what it is. So she out here just tripping and she going off of that. But, lo and behold, when that dies down, because remember, she doesn't have a job. And if she do get a job, it won't be enough for the upkeep of the home and the vehicles or whatever like that. You know what I mean? That's just what that is. So that's all going to fall, she going to fall on her face. Like, sooner than later, I promise you. So that's one of the things, like, these women now, and let's be honest. When the whole knight and king era and all that, the queen, all that stuff like that, when that happened, that was part of the deal. For you, the rich always married the rich so they can stay in power and keep that money coming into the family. That's been going on for the longest. So it's not like women just started doing this. Women, in that situation, women normally marry a guy because of security. That's just what it is. So him, obviously, he's a secure, he's a financial stable guy. So she married him because of that. Now, whether she loves him or not, I don't know. Because that's the thing about, if someone loves you, it's not always going to be forever. That's because you love somebody don't mean you're going to be with them forever. That's just reality. I don't want nobody to go out there thinking like, I love her, we're going to be together. Like, bro, you might not like her 2 years from now. It's just what it is. I mean, you probably still care for her, but you don't want to be with her, 2 years from now. So don't never think that when you meet somebody, that you're going to be with them forever. No, bro, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. So women been doing it. They normally marry for security, for security, right? You know what I mean? That way, when they get old, they ain't got to worry about working. They got income coming in or what. That's just what it's always been that way. Now you got some couples, they get married because they just truly love each other and they'll just figure it out along the way. That's true, but it's a very tiny amount of couples. But overall, a regular woman, if she marries a guy, it's because of security. First, not saying that she don't care for him or she don't love him or anything like that, but that's the first thing on her mind. Can he provide? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how it's supposed to be. Now, I know this generation now, everything's going up and people got to go 50-50 and this and that, and this is what it is, man, because the people, I said this a while back, someone made a post, you know what, you got people, I'm going to say, I'm not racist, but you got black people, when they just focus on so much, not all of them, right, but see, you got a large group of them that focus on the negative. That's all that's just, their life is just always in ruins. But anyway, so they had a post saying, oh, 50-50 is one of them 50-50 posts. Oh my God, that was a couple months ago. Probably, I think the beginning of this year when they just couldn't shut up about it. They had to keep talking about it. So, they're like, oh, 50-50, and then the one lady it was a video, and the woman was like, oh, they ain't got no problem doing that. So here, all the women in the comment section going crazy. And I'm like, you know what? The only people who's complaining about going 50-50 are broke people. And of course, you know how that went. Everybody jumped on me, this and that. I'm like, if y'all ain't got no problem, that's the whole point. Y'all supposed to work together. I said, not everybody, because this y'all got reality mixed up. Not everybody's living in a $50 million mansion where the wife just does nothing and she just walks around with 2 pet tigers and she just in the pool all day sipping on Bahama Mamas. That is not normal, bro. Like, you have people who's living like that, but for the most part, that's not the normal person. It's not the average person. You have to make a crap load of money to live carefree like that. Very few people have the opportunity. Overall, if you don't make any money, don't expect a guy to come in your life and just, be your white knight. No, man, you're gonna attract people based off your personality, your financial income. This is what it is. So if you make $30,000 a year, guess what? The dudes you're gonna be around gonna make $30,000 a year. That's just what it is. These women, they go out here and they think, oh, I don't have a job, but he has to have a career. He has this, that, and this and that. That's why they down bad, because they know what their reality is, but they refuse to accept it. They looking at these people online and think, oh, I deserve that. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't deserve that. So that's what it is. Women, they typically marry for security. That's why if you see guys that look all crazy and he see this good-looking lady, you're like, what the hell? Because he got that paper. He got that paper. And no women, not saying she going to be low, because I'm going to be honest with you, she still was cheating on that guy. He took care of everything. And that's always guys. And like I say, I don't know the guy, but I can tell based off his aura. I'm not trying to be all spiritual here, but based off the guy, that little short conversation we had, I can tell he's a genuine guy. It's always the genuine guys that get railroaded every single time. So while she's with that guy that's all jacked, like looking crazy, like what's she doing with this wild looking dude or whatever, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. So she with him for security. Don't get it twisted. Of course she's cheating on him, because obviously she don't find a dude sexually attractive. She is with him because he's funding her life. So of course she's cheating on him every chance she get, this and that, all the typical the typical BS. So that's why you shouldn't get married, man. Because now all these, man, I'm seeing stories about women in their 50s and 60s, man, divorcing their husbands so they can hit the scene again. I'm like, what? You got a woman out there that's 60 years old. She got TikTok, all on social media, wearing bathing suits. I'm like, ma'am, please stop. Stop the madness. They literally doing it. They bragging about it, having divorce parties and everything like that. They're like, oh yeah, my Mr. Right is out there waiting on me. Yo, you had your Mr. Right. What's wrong with Bob? You've been with Bob for 30 years. What's wrong with Bob? Oh, something wrong with him now? Oh, he ain't got a six-pack, you mad? That dude is 68 years old. He in a wheelchair. What we doing? But that's what they doing out there, man. And then now they so bold with it, they getting on social media telling you what they plan is. I'm going to find me a guy. I'm going to marry him, stay with him for a year or two, divorce him, and take all this stuff. And a lot of them, that's why they'll get pregnant by you quick. Like the athletes or, people, the dudes who know they got money, they'll be quick to get pregnant by so they can, they get their little BS child support or whatever for 18 plus years or whatever. So that's they plan all along. So you guys, listen, listen, it's guys I didn't talk to, I can see it in their face. And yeah, man, I got married. Them boys look destroyed. And then it's always that slight that few seconds of like silence. You know what I mean? And he know he messed up. You can see it in their faces when they say it. It's like they try to make it seem like that's what they wanted, but it's not the thing they want to do. They always, these guys I talk to, they've been pressured into getting married. Like they'll say it right, they'll spill the beans. I mean, once people get comfortable, because they want somebody they can talk to. That's why I try to be an approachable person when I'm somewhere out social, whatever like that, or work. You know, I don't want to. This is what it is. People be going through stuff, man. I mean, you call me a non-certified psychologist, whatever. But I know how guys are, man. We so used to holding in all our frustrations and our problems. We need somebody to vent to as well. But that's what it is. So this guy's telling me a story about how his mom, his dad, or her parents is pressuring both of them to get married. Obviously, the mom already laced the daughter up, so she all for it. But the guy, he's like, man, he know he messed up, but he won't say it, but you can see it in their face. They can't hide their facial expression, man. So it's sad to see that, knowing that he don't even know if she likes him or it'll last forever or whatever. They know it's a high chance of them getting divorced and getting all this stuff taken away from them, man. Like literally, and they know that. So it's like it's not benefiting the guy, maybe in a certain country or something like that, but for the most part, especially in the United States, the system is so rigged to where you can catch your wife doing the most craziest stuff. You got pictures. She's been on Cheetahs for 5 seasons straight. You know, all the evidence you need to, you know what I'm saying, for you to step away, you know, being clean or whatever. So, but when that happens, but still, like, even though you have all the proof and stuff like that, they still destroy the guy. So that's why marriage has always been set up for the woman to benefit, never the man. So if you guys are in a position to where you feeling pressured to get married, man, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, man. Don't let people encourage you or not encourage you, belittle you or shame you into, why you not marrying her, you should marry her. Like, man, if you don't want to do it, especially everybody know now what it is, don't do it, bro. Don't just find you a lady. And there's a lot of people out there who don't want to get married. They don't want to deal with all the paperwork and all the craziness or whatever. They don't want to deal with the pressure of like, oh, I got to be with this person for the rest of my life. As crazy as this may sound, majority of the people who has the longest relationships are the ones who never been married. They just been together for so long. So it's not saying if you get married that it won't work out for you, but it's a high chance. I'm talking about in the 90s. That you will get divorced. That woman will divorce you, man, especially what's going on now, because they know, listen, infidelity has been happening since I don't know when. The only thing about now is it's easier to do it, because back then when they was riding horses and carriage, you know, Ethna couldn't go across state to go meet Billy Ray Earl or whatever. She couldn't do that. Well, let me be honest with you. She was doing that, but it was such a hassle to do it. Now you got Melinda talking to a dude that's in LA and she over there and over there in Hawaii somewhere, and he gonna fly out, they gonna kick it in. That's what I'm saying. So they know they have more options. Even back then, they always had options, but it wasn't easily obtainable back then, because you don't have all this stuff now. You know, you can meet somebody on the phone and you know all that stuff like that. Back then they couldn't do all that. So not saying they didn't want to cheat. You know, you had people who did it, but they wasn't able. The majority wasn't able to do it because it was too much of a hassle to cheat. So now it's just it's right there in their palm. They get on their phone, they make some text, you know, not even call somebody, you know, send a couple text messages, and then next you know they go on to another state, another city, on the house. So that's what it is. It's more easily accessible, and they know they're gonna have these simps that's gonna, no matter what they do, they're gonna be waiting on them hand and foot. And they know that, so they take advantage. Okay, well, he ain't going nowhere. And then they'll have a couple of them, like, you know, put them at the bottom of the list and be like, okay, let me go ahead and have my hot girl summer or whatever, enjoy their life for a good 5-6 years or whatever until they start getting old and nobody want them. Then they go to the Sims because no matter what, they're going to be waiting. I see it with my own eyes, man. They have no shame. Them Sims have no shame, man. They had no backbone. So, guys, I'm telling you this right now. I thought about getting married here and there, but I'm at the point to get my life together, so I ain't worried about that. There's more problems for me. But as I got old and I started hearing all these, you know, have these conversations with these guys who've been married for X amount of years, this and that, you learn from another person's mistake. That's what it is. Like I say, these guys are not saying all of them are, you know, like heroes. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's always the ones that it's always those the nice guys. You know, as they say, nice guys finish last. But the ones who be dogging the women out, slapping them up and down the street, they never leave them because that's what they want, man. It's sad to say because they never trust a woman. Don't never go off her words, always go off her action. So again, man, you know, right now where I'm at, only way I'm gonna get married is she's a village woman. She better be coming out of a hood. You know, I better be getting one of them women from Russia somewhere, like this deep in the woods, you know, living off the land. Like she, you know what I mean? Like that's like, no, man, I ain't got time for the BS, man. It's really what it's the headache. And then they use that against you. They, oh, if you divorce me, you know, that would take half your stuff. So, which I heard, that's a common thing now. And then they start cheating even more. And now you stuck in a situation like, dang, if I divorce her, she gonna take all my stuff. So, like, you ain't got no, you know, I guess I'll go ahead and allow. So, you gonna let your wife get bent over on the regular while you at work and you go ahead and accept that. That's what it is. So, honestly, man, if you're thinking about getting married, don't do it. Don't do it. Honestly, don't, man. And if you do, you know, if you're a passport, bro, don't bring her back. I hear that all the time from don't bring her back. So if you go over there to Taiwan, Taiwanese, Emily's, Chinese, whatever you want to go, do not bring them. Never bring them back, because you're gonna have something going on there. You're gonna have the upper hand compared to you coming out here, and then then the roles are gonna switch, and then now you're gonna be in a terrible situation. So I'm just telling you guys, man, just learn from other people's mistakes. Now you can be that guy like, oh no, she truly loves me. She'll never divorce. That's fine. That's fine. But you come across this video, and after you watch this video, you still go after that, then hey, man, it ain't my fault, man. I'm just here to spread the word. So you can go out there and think you different. Go ahead. Go. We've been together for 10 years, and she'll go. Hey, that's all you, man. Like I said, I'm gonna let you know right now. But me personally, I'm not gonna put myself in a situation like that, knowing that if shit hits the fan, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get railroaded. Nah. No matter what, nah, we good. You know, we good. Anyway, guys, man, if you like the video, leave a comment, something. Just make sure you subscribe. I'm out, man.